Now, we must talk about this extraordinary business with the BBC, because where the BBC go, well, hopefully the ABC don't find themselves in similar hot water, but the BBC has found itself, rightly, deservedly so, in real hot water and real trouble on a number of issues, not least of which is the way it has now been revealed by an inquiry in the UK that the BBC doctored image of Donald Trump on January 6th, 2021, in which they made it appear that he was urging people to go and fight at the Capitol, which is not what he was doing. They took two separate parts, an hour apart of a speech, spliced them together, and Bob's your uncle, as they say. But have a listen to what the BBC showed, and then we'll show you what the BBC... We don't have it? OK. So the way it goes is basically they had... Donald Trump was saying, you know, we're going to go down to the Congress, we're going to march down to the Capitol, and we want to welcome our congressmen and women and show them that we're there to support them. The BBC spliced in a bit much later in the speech where he said, let's go and fight, where he was talking about something else. James.
And what they did, it was so sinister because they spliced the audio together, but just when the new cut comes in, where he's talking much later about, you know, the satirical fight sort of stuff, they splice it over while then cutting the vision to crowd shots. So it looks entirely like it's completely natural. Now, I mean, the BBC, of course, is just joining the ABC, which has also been caught out doing all sorts of funny business with audio. We know about that.
Yes.
But that's not the only BBC story this week here. I couldn't believe this here. One of their presenters got in trouble and was told that she broke the rules after she changed or added the word women to a news script that she was reading and had been shoved into her autocue. Have a look at this.
London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine has released research which says that nearly 600 heat-related deaths are expected in the UK. Malcolm Mystery, who is involved in the research, says that the aged, pregnant people, women, and those with pre-existing health conditions need to take precautions.
Well done you for that little bit of rebellion. Of course, and I'm sure you're off to some BBC gulag now. But why is this even controversial? I think the only people who should have been getting in trouble there, frankly, are whoever wrote into that script or into that press release that they used for the script, pregnant people. What?
Yeah, but the point is, we showed that at the time, but the point is, James, that she is now been censored.
Yeah.
They've actually done an inquiry, they looked at it, and they've now come out and rather than saying, yes, of course she was correct, they've actually attacked her. And this is Orwellian. They're actually judging her, a commissioner sitting around her, whoever they are, and are judging her for pulling a facial expression. Now, George Orwell in 1984 actually had a definition of this, face crime, it was called. And this is the idea, if you pull a cynical face or an expression that shows that you're kind of sceptical about what the government is telling you, which is exactly what the woman did, the presenter did there, that's called a face crime. And the BBC have turned it into a face crime. J.K. Rowling has come out and said, obviously she's praising the BBC presenter and said what a great woman she is. But this is Britain today. It's terrifying stuff. As you said, James, comparisons with the ABC?
Well, yeah, comparison. I mean, you remember how one of the news programs, they got in trouble for splicing in those gunshots to make it sound like there had been executions of Afghans. It's so dishonest.
And it's precisely the types of people who talk endlessly about disinformation and misinformation, and everyone has to be censored and everyone's social media has to be censored to save them from disinformation. And often they're the biggest spreaders of deliberate disinformation.